Ο Μάριο Λουμπέτκιν, υπουργός εξωτερικών της Ουρουγουάης, η οποία είναι αυτό το διάστημα η προεδρεύουσα χώρα της πολυσυζητημένης Mercosur, που τέθηκε σε ισχύ από την 1η Μαΐου φέτος, όπως ο ίδιος αναφέρει, υπογραμμίζει ότι θα πρέπει η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση να επισπεύσει τις διαδικασίες για εφαρμογή της συμφωνίας, αφού υπάρχουν και άλλες αγορές, μεταξύ των οποίων η Ινδία και η Κίνα, και είναι σοβαρό το ενδεχόμενο να υπάρξει διοχέτευση των προϊόντων προς την κατεύθυνση αυτή. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε ένα χαρακτηριστικό απόσπασμα από τις δηλώσεις του.
First of all, you know, from last week, Uruguay is the chair of Mercosur. Mercosur, you know perfectly because there is an agreement between Mercosur and European Union that started formally on 1st of May this year, and it's a quality change not only for Europe and for Europe or for Mercosur. It's a quality change for all of us, and it's very important for, how we can say, the taxpayer to understand why this agreement is important. Obviously that in the framework of DEEP, our action, cooperation and initiative, one of the key sectors is to develop trade, to develop business, and to work in another way between the private sector of both realities. We met with the private sector of Europe, organized the meeting with the authorities of the European community, of the European Union, especially with the Commissioner of Trade, in which we open a dialogue that we want to conclude in December because we want to organize in the framework of the agreement between European Union and Mercosur the first trade event between European Union and Mercosur that we want to organize on 2nd of December in Uruguay during our presidency.
Minister, there's a lot to unpack here. Uruguay was the first country to ratify the agreement. Now it holds the Mercosur presidency, as you said. Is this finally the moment when the EU-Mercosur agreement becomes a reality, or are you still worried that it could fall apart? What are the most sensitive pending issues?
First of all, the 4 countries of Mercosur ratified in 2 months. Never happened before something like this. So the parliament of the 4 countries ratified in 2 months. And that is something that is important to highlight. And we need to take in account that the Mercosur government are completely different. There are right government, there are left government, but we have all in the same vision that is strategically for us, but not from us to Europe. It's from Europe to us too. That is the point. It's not one way. It's both ways. The fact...
On that note, do you think that the whole ratification process will be over, finished by the end of the year?
No, from our side was end. The point is from Europe. We don't know us. That's not a problem for us. We are not thinking about what can happen from the judicial way or what will happen. We are sure that the Euro Parliament will ratify, I don't know when, 2027, 2028, I don't know.
Well, I'm asking because the European Parliament hasn't ratified it yet, as you say, but they have taken the matter to court. What is your take on this? Are you worried that things go...
We work with the fact that we start on 1st of May. And why the issue will develop and we will increase business, democracy, cooperation, for sure. In the end of the day, the parliamentarian will understand and the citizen will understand that this is only positive for them and for their life. The point is, now we need to build, and we will build. This is the reason why I'm here. Because now we are not thinking about what will happen in 1 year, 2 years. No. Because we are not time. The citizen are not time. The citizen need to have answer, concrete answer. And that is what we discuss with the European Union to work together in that in a very concrete way.
Is the agreement today more important than it was 5 years ago?
For sure. Because we need to think, and Europe need to think, in the global scenario, which are the regions that we can work together in a similar perspective, still complementary areas. And they are for sure. Obviously that we work in the agricultural way, but we have room for all in this game. We have room for all in this game. We are absolutely convinced, and we are prepared about that. And the point is, we want the European Union to be prepared to in that, because it's a win-win. It's not the fact that we will develop our capacity and the European Union. No, that is a wrong discussion, was a wrong discussion, but it's a problem of our European friends. We will support, because it's important for us to show that is what we signed in Paraguay was strategically for our life and the European life.
So what are European citizens going to see? What are the tangibles that Europeans are going to see once this is ratified?
Increase the economy, increase job, increase investment, because it's not investment from this part of the world to there, from there to here. In our region, there are a lot of money too, a lot of money. There are a lot of power of companies. So the point is to think how the economy is changing the world. How is the situation today in Europe, today in our region, today in the US? It's part of the global discussion. And we need, because we have many synergies, to try to develop our new capacities, because we are not thinking for 1 year. We are thinking for 5, for 10, for 15 years. One of the ideas that we have, because we are the chair of Mercosur, but we are the chair of CELAC. CELAC is the 33 countries of Latin America and the Caribbean. One of our chairing position is to concrete a roadmap between the European Union and CELAC. So 60 countries. That we never have this in the past. And if we go in the correct way, we will launch together between European Union and CELAC in September in New York.
I like your excitement, Minister, but I also want to play devil's advocate here. If eventually the European Parliament, the European Union rejects this deal, what are the consequences? How do you see it?
For Europe, a lot, because we will continue with other countries.
Could that be China?
Obviously. China is the most important counterpart for the most of the country in the region. For Uruguay, small country, 3.5 million people, China is our first counterpart in the last 14 years. We are talking about trade, because when we are talking about investment, it's Europe. And when we are talking about service, it's United States. So which is the point? No one way, no one. So there are many countries in Asia, in Africa. I put an example. In these 6 months in which we will chair Mercosur, we will try to conclude the agreement with Canada. We will try to conclude our agreement with Emirates. We will try to conclude our agreement with India. So no one way, no one. Just for this, but I am convinced that our friends from Europe will understand that, and we will continue because there are no other alternatives.
Σε προσωρινή ισχύ αμφιλεγόμενη εμπορική συμφωνία των χωρών της Mercosur. Πρόκειται για μια συμφωνία η οποία αντιμετωπίζει νομική αμφισβήτηση ενώπιον του Ευρωπαϊκού Δικαστηρίου της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης, αφού η πρόεδρος της Κομισιόν, Ursula von der Leyen, ουσιαστικά παρέκαμψε κοινοβουλευτική πλειοψηφία για την επικύρωση της συμφωνίας. Ας δούμε όμως τι ακριβώς είναι η εμπορική συμφωνία Mercosur.
Τι είναι η Συμφωνία Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης Mercosur και τι πραγματικά σημαίνει? Οι εμπορικές σχέσεις μεταξύ της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης και της Εμπορικής και Οικονομικής Ένωσης Mercosur συνδέουν πάνω από 700 εκατομμύρια καταναλωτές σε Ευρώπη και Νότια Αμερική. Η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση είναι ο δεύτερος μεγαλύτερος εμπορικός εταίρος της Mercosur στον τομέα των εμπορευμάτων, αντιπροσωπεύοντας σχεδόν το 17% του συνολικού εμπορίου της Mercosur το 2024. Στη Mercosur ανήκουν η Αργεντινή, η Βολιβία, η Βραζιλία, η Παραγουάη και η Ουρουγουάη. Είναι ο 10ος μεγαλύτερος εμπορικός εταίρος της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης στον τομέα των εμπορευμάτων. Το 2024 το εμπόριο μεταξύ Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης και Mercosur ξεπέρασε τα 111 δισεκατομμύρια ευρώ. Μεταξύ 2014 και 2024 το εμπόριο αγαθών αυξήθηκε κατά περισσότερο από 36%. Μετά από περισσότερα από 25 χρόνια διαπραγματεύσεων, η εμπορική συμφωνία μεταξύ της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης και των χωρών της Mercosur τέθηκε σε προσωρινή ισχύ στις αρχές Μαΐου. Μέχρι το 2040 η εμπορική συμφωνία αναμένεται να ενισχύσει το ΑΕΠ της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης κατά 77,6 δισεκατομμύρια ευρώ. Ωστόσο, η συμφωνία έχει προκαλέσει πολλές ανησυχίες σε ολόκληρη την Ευρώπη, όπως ο φόβος ότι θα βλάψει την ευρωπαϊκή γεωργία, τα δάση στη Νότια Αμερική και τα ανθρώπινα δικαιώματα.